Okay, so make sure you are respectful while your classmates are up here.
Matilda needs at least $112 to buy a new dress. She has already saved $40. She earns $9 an hour babysitting. Write and solve an inequality to find how many hours she will need to babysit to buy the dress. Interpret the solution.
Important. Oh.
Okay, so at least $12 and $40 saved and $9 per hour babysitting. Okay, so what'd you guys write for inequality?
We wrote 40 plus 9x. This sign.
What is that sign?
Greater than or equal to.
Okay.
$112.
Okay,
So we subtracted 40. Subtracted 40. Got 72. 9x. We divide by 9. Divide by 9. And we got x is greater than or equal to 8.
Okay, so now interpret that solution. Meaning, what did your x represent? Hours. Okay, so if I was to interpret x is greater than 8, what does that mean Matilda has to do?
Work more than 8 hours?
Can she work 8 hours and have enough?
Yeah.
Yes, because if x is greater than or equal to, so if she works 8 hours, she'll have enough money, or she has to work more than that. Okay, so in other words, if she works 7 hours, is she gonna be able to buy the dress?
No.
So should we write 8 or more hours? 8 or more hours. That would be the interpreting part. Awesome. Number 2.
I missed.
I'm Bossing. Can I bring my whiteboard up there? You bet.
I'll forget it.
And you do. Anyway. Okay, so hopefully you wrote down all of that work.
Tameka already has $55 in her savings account. If she puts $5 per week in her account, write and solve an inequality to find out how many weeks she must save to have at least $100 in her account. Interpret the situation. You got that important.
Okay. So she already has $55. She puts $5 per week, and she has to save at least $100 in her account.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, Miss Boston, I'm getting it.
Take my job.
Okay.
So the inequality you got was 55 because that's already how she has in her account. Plus $5 per
Oh,
week.
my bad.
You can use the little eraser up there. So it should be 9x because she saves $5 per week.
Miss Boston, is it okay if I go into the other problem because
I wrote that a little too big.
Okay, so you have to subtract 55 from both sides. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. And then you get 45 on here, and then 5x over here. And then you divide 45 by 5x, and then you have x. So x is less than or equal to 9.
Greater than?
Greater than. Yep.
Yep, that's the sign she has.
Got it.
Okay, so interpret the solution. What did your x represent? She saved $5
How many weeks she needs to put in?
Yeah.
So how many weeks she needs to save, right? Okay, so interpret that solution then. X is greater than or equal to 9. How many weeks does she have to save?
9 or more.
9 or more
Yeah.
weeks. Okay, because if she saves for 8 weeks, is she going to have enough?
No.
No. Great. Number 3. post this on my YouTube channel? Should I put y'all as guest stars?
Yes.
I have a microphone.
No. Alright, number 3.
Manuel earns $400 per week plus 3% commission on everything he sells. Write and solve an inequality to find out how much he must sell to have a weekly income of at least $700.
Okay, so he earns. Where
Oh,
did it
sorry.
go? He earns $400 per week plus 3%. And he has to have a weekly income of at least 7.
What is commission? You already know. Based on what? Like,
How many things you sell?
how many things you sell. So, like, raise your hand if you've ever been to the Buckle. That's like my best example of this. When you go to the Buckle, doesn't somebody just like swarm you?
Yeah.
Because they make a profit the more that they sell. So they swarm you because their paycheck is based on how much money they sell. So that's their commission. Okay. Sorry, go on.
The problem would be 0.03
Where'd you get that number?
from the 3%.
Remove the.
Instead of having it be 3%, you have to move the decimal twice to the left. Makes
Change it
it
to a decimal. Perfect. So they changed their percent to a decimal there. Good?
Yay. X plus 400 greater than or equal to 700.
Okay, now you're going to subtract 400. I cannot write on this. And then you'll drop down your 3 greater than or equal to 300.
And then once you get to here, you'll divide by 0.03. And x is greater than or equal to 10,000.
Okay, so interpret that solution. What did your X represent?
The amount of things sold.
The amount of things sold. So what does your solution mean?
You have to sell at least $10,000 or more.
Perfect. So you have to sell at least $10,000 or more in order to get a weekly income of $700. Perfect. Number 4.
Okay. So Remington needs at least $3,000 to buy a used car. He already has $1,800. If he saves $50 per week, right? And solve it. So we need at least $3,000. He already has $1,800. Saves $50 per week. So it will be $3,000 greater than or equal to 50x plus 1,800.
So what you
Pause you for a second. I think when you guys originally wrote it, you wrote your X first, didn't you? Did you write 50x plus 1,800?
Nope.
Your symbol's wrong.
Nuts.
just
Wait,
just the X? Or
So your inequality symbol is wrong.
inequality.
So do we flip it?
Yes. Because what you say right now is that 3,000 is the greatest amount. Could I earn more than that and still make 3,000? Yes. So it has to be that way.
I do that. And then, did you? Yep.
You'd have to subtract 1,800 from the side with the 50x. Then you'd have to subtract 1,800 from the side of 3,000, and that would equal 1,200 is less than or equal to 50x.
And you can divide by 50x, divide by 50x, and then you'll get 24 weeks.
But you have an inequality. Flip your sign. Okay, so a lot of people do this, so I'm kind of glad they did this. So they wrote their x on this side, right? So they have x is less than or equal to 24. So when they switch it to write your x first, you have to switch the sign as well, so that if your alligator is eating x here, it has to eat x there.
Thank you. Bless you, Cole.
Okay? So now, what does your x represent?
24 weeks or more.
24 weeks or more, yes. Questions on that one? That's kind of like what you guys did. Number 5. Their solution or their interpretation was 24 weeks or more. Okay, thank you.
Ow, Riley hurt me. Dock the point.
Yeah.
Okay. So Latrell has $8 to spend on postcards. He wants to buy one large postcard and some small ones. Write and solve an inequality to find out how many small postcards Lateral can purchase. Interpret the solution. So he has $8 to spend. He wants to buy one large postcard and some small ones. So your problem would be, oh wow, that is bad 5. Ellie, be quiet. 1.25x plus 2 is less than 8. So then you have to subtract 2, and that'd be 6, 0. So go ahead. I always do that.
So then,
Bring down your $1.25.
see, that's where I got confused.
Put your x with your 1.25. There we go.
Okay, so then you would divide by 1.25. Oops. And 1.25. And then you would get x is, I kind of forgot how to say that,
That's one.
less than 4, right?
Or yes, except for my only question for you guys is could I spend $8? Or sorry, could I spend $8? Because
Yeah,
I
you
have
could.
$8, right?
Yeah.
So I could spend that whole $8, so it'd be less than or equal to,
4.
and you get 4.8, right, when you guys divided?
Yeah.
So did you have enough for that 5th postcard?
No.
No. So when you actually divide 6 divided by 1.25, you get a decimal 4.8. Can you buy the 5th postcard?
No.
No. So their final solution is x is less than or equal to 4.8 technically, but 4 because you can't buy a part of a postcard. So if you interpret your solution, can you buy 5 postcards?
No.
No. So you have to buy 4 or
Less.
okay. The other 3 people, I want you to write down your work on that scratch piece of paper because we're not going to have
I don't know. I'm not
enough time today to get to those problems. So if you did not go yet, write down your work on your scratch paper so that you have it for tomorrow.